Yes, it's part 3 of the Revenge of Jedikiah.
Hooray.
We're all still here.
Marvellously.
And
Wasn't it-
Jason, Nick, Peter.
There was an episode going to be called The Revenge of Roger Price, but I felt it was a little bit close when Peter was expelled from the series. So
Evergreen.
of course, the boot of the Aston Martin was ludicrously small, so you couldn't afford to take a bigger kidnap hostage than that anyway, if you'd wanted
That was
to.
the basis of her casting.
That's it, yeah, must fit in boot of Aston Martin DB2.
That would have sounded a bit
So
weird.
Tyso now becomes the shape changer.
Does he now?
I know it's difficult to understand.
Sort of makes
Evergreen,
sense to me.
But it wasn't me who shot you in the boot of the car. It was someone else. Someone who looks exactly like me.
That's right.
That's what they all say.
Yes.
But wasn't he a sinister character, the sergeant, as well? Doesn't he become a shape changer?
Oh, he does. Yes, he does.
doesn't
Yes, he does.
Yes, yes.
Correct, you win 5 points each.
Thank you very much.
It's all come flooding back.
So now, Anne, you must try harder. You're not answering the questions.
Mind you, with this story, you've got a fair chance if you say anybody gets changed.
Got to be right one way or
Pretty much going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that Jedikiah?
Do we know whose eye that is in the title sequence, Peter?
I haven't a clue. It's certainly not mine.
How do you know it's certainly not yours?
I don't, actually.
Ah.
Whose fist is that?
I don't want to know, and I don't know where it's been.
Yes, you're always bringing that fist up, aren't you?
I didn't bring that up. That was the producer who just mentioned the fist.
I did a lot of the facey things.
Farewell performance. You see, Roger knew what was coming for you, Peter. I'm sorry.
No, I still got another few more to do.
Yes.
Look at you watching television acting, sort of, what was that, wiggling your head around.
Yeah.
I'm just blatantly here sending you up, sorry.
Fair enough. That's what I'm here for.
Hey, you're watching John Ford's Stagecoach on the television.
Do you think that is? Didn't they have to pay rights to show that?
Yeah, but only if you recognise the shot.
I was tied up. Tied up
This man tied me up.
by your professor. In.
Evergreen, I told you.
Quick,
it
sit
wasn't
down,
me.
clear the shot.
Yes, I thought that. The little pirouette she did as well. Did you notice that?
The Evergreen who was in here.
He does look very silly with that beret on, doesn't
Well, he's
he?
not wearing it properly, but there aren't very many actors who can wear it properly. Actually, to be fair to him, it's too big.
He hasn't got a gun in his
He
holster.
is trying to wear it.
It's no gun.
No, he is trying to wear it properly, but it's too big.
Of course. She came back without.
He's got a very interesting badge on the beret.
Yes, all right, Evergreen.
It has come to that. I'm now talking about badges on berets.
Well, people like you used to collect military badges, but they then moved on to watching the Tomorrow People.
Yes, I've added it to my collection.
Used to collect steam train numbers as well. I don't know whether you...
Yes, I must get back to Waterloo Station.
Leaving Stephen behind with Evergreen.
From a producing point of view, I think it's very interesting that this story looks very expensive, but that's because they're using all the sets from all the previous stories.
That's right.
There you have the true eye of a producer, you see.
Yeah, he's looking at
Cut cost wherever you can, including paying the actors rubbish money. No wonder Anne couldn't stay for this episode.
She's just leaving.
And it's not fair. You've got a gown on.
Yeah.
You should be there in your undies.
Well, I don't think anybody wanted to see my body, you know, from the production point of view.
Well, we saw it in the first series.
You
didn't
did.
we, Ozzy?
Pretty puny it was, I'm afraid. But as you say, it was the days before body fascism.
Well, of course,
Body fascism.
for those earlier episodes, you had in fact shaved your torso, but it had grown up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I better go and join Anne and leave.
I think this man is beginning to fantasise, don't you, Peter?
I think there's something odd.
Just clearing our throat.
Concentrate.
Bad hair day for you there, Peter, I think?
Bit of a bad one, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Hair not parted in the right place. Who turned the television off, by the way?
No, not
Not
this
before,
one.
In the days before remote controls.
Whoa,
That's a nice spot
that's
he's
a
got on his
big
chin.
one. Oh, mind you, I've got a few, haven't I?
Yeah.
Mind
Yeah,
you,
so
of course-
yeah, you say that all that criticism of Tyso and his spots, you get a good crop in the
I've got
next
a-
series.
Well,
don't
that's
you?
why he
Oh, do I?
criticises him.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Am I spotty?
Of course, with telekinesis, we should have been able to eradicate spots forever. Oh, she looks quite sultry there, doesn't she?
Yeah, see, fancies each other. Stop.
Do you want to start again?
I said he fancies a walk in the woods, is
Yes.
what I was going to say.
John.
Going for a tramp in the country, as they say, and the tramp's getting fed up with it.
John.
John?
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Elizabeth?
Yes, Peter.
No,
yes, Stephen, sorry.
You're hanging on for life.
Hanging on by a thread. Yes, you're right. This was the episode I was paid to do absolutely nothing apart from lie on my back in a plastic bag.
Do you get offers like that a lot?
Not a lot. Not even at parties.
Is this a plan for a future audio play, Jason? Nick, come in and lie in a plastic bag. Just rustle around a bit.
Can't tell. There's something wrong.
Thank you, Anne.
I'll phone through to her straight away.
There's no phone.
Oh, the car's got a radio that connects direct to the establishment.
Oh, mobile telephone. Don't use that when you're driving.
That's a good
See,
backdrop
that's
out there.
another law we had to introduce. Can't use your mobile telephone whilst driving.
Very Blair Witch, isn't it? There's.
Very good handheld camera.
That's your
stuff.
umbrella. Here.
Now, how does she know that, apart from the heavy breathing, how does she know that he's a man to be avoided?
No, she's Jedikiah.
Oh,
It's the other way round.
Yeah. See, he's going to now be
Sergeant Evans?
possessed.
It's quite
Private
sort
Evans, he's a sergeant, isn't he?
yes, well done, well spotted.
Did he say private then?
Yes, he
Yes,
said
he did.
Private Evans.
Yes, perhaps he recognises privates, but not sergeants.
Don't cry.
He's a sergeant, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got your brolly.
He actually said IE there. I
Yeah,
think.
but
I must have said that in the script.
No, that's
Aye.
what, that's what Red Indians used to say in comic books.
Yes, IE.
Yeah, absolutely.
As they were shot.
All Germans used to say "ach so," and all Japanese used to say "ah so," and all Red Indians used to say "ay."
Yes, you lose 4 points for that.
John and Liz, they need her out.
And what if one of you is Jedikiah?
Sorry, not Red Indians, Native Americans. I beg your pardon.
What do you mean if one of you is Jedikiah? It's pretty obvious.
We can all keep together. I can't
You could be Jedikiah.
Exactly.
That teapot could be Jedikiah.
Let's see if there's any change in the subtle acting.
Yeah,
yeah,
you see,
yeah,
we
look.
all have this kind of...
Look. Oh, yeah. No, nobody seems to hear that noise. Is that just for us, do you
Nick,
think?
probably, yes. Nick, you were going to tell us what the badges were on the lapel. Is that the parachute regiment? Is that what you're into?
I seem to have just hit the microphone. Knocked myself out.
Oh, they drove. And they got there very quick.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I'll take you to intensive
No,
care.
not yet, Miss Conway. There's something you must know first. Come in, all of you.
Why were they waiting in the corridor anyway? It's quite a small set.
Please not take the young girl.
No, Miss Conway, Sergeant Evans and Evergreen must stay in here. Even
Because
if what you have
he's
to say to Tyler and
suspicious.
Stephen is top secret. We all have to stay together.
Why?
Because one of them may be the shape changer. Especially Tyler and Stephen. They've both been alone with Jedikiah.
But then he could be the shape changer, and so could she.
Yeah.
Until we're sure they are who they say they are.
We don't have any lines.
word, another costume for Phil.
Oh, we get to see his knees.
It wasn't easy to get permission.
Quite knobbly, really.
Got a little handbag.
He's been on holiday.
Sure, exactly.
What?
Except that there is a dangerous shape changer
Oh,
loose.
he's been to the
He's been-
Sphinx.
It's Club 5070 he was on.
I thought he was supposed to be an Australian. I thought there were going to be little corks hanging from his hat.
Good eye, Tim.
Yeah, good day, Brash. Want a rate?
Because he can adopt any
Only our Australian audience will understand that remark.
I think I've cracked a fat.
Any idea what shape he has at the moment? Yes. Unfortunately, there are strong reasons
More colourful balls, I
It's
think you'll all
the
agree.
shape of a vegetable.
of either Stephen or Tyso.
No. Never.
Oh, no, matron.
I am afraid not. His deception
He has got one of those
Or
faces.
is he a
that kind
piece of string? Sorry, no, I'm going to shut up now.
What we've mind
He must get that scene too. Bit of Vic on his chest.
The belt's very loose as well, but that's not his fault either. You see, that's going to be... What belt have we got in wardrobe, isn't it? Little fit fate.
awful posture. All slouched.
Yeah.
He just slipped there, didn't he?
Pretended to be evergreen once.
I mean, I remember this. They told us to sit like that, and we're all sitting weirdly.
I'm just looking at that red telephone again. It was one of those... What did you call it? A trim phone?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
it isn't anymore. It's an ordinary one, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Another trap to waste time and make sure.
Sort
John
of
and Elizabeth-
minutiae. Very interesting.
Well, I can vouch for Professor Corson, Mum. I've been with him all afternoon.
Now that cat badge is nonsense. It's a piece
Looks
of-
like Thunderbirds or something, doesn't it?
It looks like a Boy Scouts district commissioner badge that's been turned sideways.
I shall have to take you to a place
Now, who's the sad one now?
Well,
Yes, but I was a scout 30 years ago.
were you really?
So was I.
Were you really?
I was a Sea Scout.
Will dib dib dib.
Oh, I was
will
a Sea
dog, dog,
Scout
dog.
as well.
Yes, but your tent sank.
I used to have to scrub the top of my hat. and to keep it white.
Be fairly certain.
I'm sorry, this DVD is not about me. I'll shut up now.
Whose hat was it you were scrubbing? So you, as I said
What
earlier
about
on,
you, Peter?
So
Were
you
you-
did like a naval encounter, as I said earlier on, with lots of seamen.
You in the Scouts, Peter?
I was in the Boys Brigade.
Oh, they were some neo-Nazis,
And then
weren't
they were a bit, yes. And then I joined the ATC. Do you remember them?
Yes, the Air Training Corps.
Air Training Corps.
Yeah, those greatcoats were very trendy, weren't they?
Yes, we didn't want the Army Cadets because that was common. It was awful. So I decided the ATC. My dad was an RAF pilot anyway, so...
I thought he was a French pornographer, you were telling us.
No, he's that now as well, but he was in the Battle of Britain, funny enough. He was a Spitfire
I was going to
pilot.
say, on whose side? Never quite sure with the French. Sorry to our French listeners there.
Scandalous thing to say.
Have some more Vichy water.
So, flying ace to French pornographer.
It's a strange turn of events, but... yes.
Did he go down in the sea?
He went down a few times, but he was actually kicked out of the RAF because he was caught with the
Pornography.
no, with the flight lieutenant's wife. So they bunged him off to Burma, and he avoided the Battle of Britain.
Oh, and here she is now.
It's a highly dubious story because the Battle of Britain was 1940 and the Japanese didn't get into the war till December 1941.
Yeah, but they were still flying Spitfires
Yes,
even
I mean-
after the Battle of Britain.
I've
No,
got the logbook.
but he said he avoided the Battle of Britain. Never mind, this is a history lesson. Let's get back to
Yes, let's get back to
to
this.
the flashing coloured
Yes,
balls.
how, you see, look, silver, two white. How are you doing with the balls?
He is wearing an Australian bush hat, isn't he? With an African hat band.
Oh, his ball's colourful enough for you?
Well, the left one isn't. Top left isn't very colourful.
So where's he been then?
I'll phone the doctor.
Oldest of the Tomorrow people has hardly been on the planet for 20 years.
He's got very long hair. for an
No,
old
he's giving
chap,
away my
hasn't he?
age there. Look.
That is a rug, isn't it? Because he was totally bald, wasn't he?
No,
Phil?
it's a comb across job. I
No,
think.
Paul is not totally bald.
Well, not totally.
He had a.
Not that long hair. I mean, that looks
No,
like my
probably.
hair.
Yeah, but that was the 1970s for you.
Yeah. We glued to the hat.
Is that his real hair or was it a wig?
It might have been his real hair, I don't know.
No, it was not.
No, I think he grew it long at the sides.
No, an earthquake. This is a cheap set, talking from a producer's point of view, isn't it?
Yeah. But effective, though, because it's top secret underground. Oh, shut up.
They put silence in
What do you
bands,
think,
or-
Anne?
Jedikiah is able to take over people's thoughts.
Yes.
Can you tell he's part of the establishment now because he's wearing a white coat?
Yeah. They're coming to take him away. Haha.
Know about the wedge shape.
Hee hee ho ho.
Do a lot of pausing because
Yeah.
there's not
Significant
enough
pausing.
screen.
Scared me.
He suddenly realised he wasn't in shot.
I have made up my mind.
I'm going into carry-on films.
Ask them what they want me to do.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew you wouldn't let us down.
He's going to get saved, are you, by timers?
So Jedikiah's biding his time a bit. Isn't
He is a bit.
I'm not quite sure what he wants to do. Can you remind me?
Did I?
Belt fits better. Look, someone's obviously said to him that belt's no good.
No answer at all.
No answer.
No one's. Not a dicky bird.
It is a very strange uniform, isn't
It
it?
is. And a very flat
Seems
gum.
to have officers' epaulets on the top almost.
Can you jaunt me to this weapons research establishment?
First, you would better...
That's easy for you to say.
do something
Only if you say it slowly.
Well, go on. Go and find them and tell them how nasty I've been.
No need for that.
On second thoughts, don't bother.
Thank you, Pete.
Oh, no, it is a trim phone. Beg his pardon. But it's obviously been painted because the cable's the wrong colour. Look, see?
Oh, yes.
I bet he'll love to see that again.
I think you are a bit of a train spotter, Nick.
Don't prove anything, one way or the other.
I think they've painted that phone. Come along and I'll blatantly
quite a-
mock you.
Boring shots, this bit, isn't it?
There's so much exciting that happens soon, and they're just sort of treading water. What about that phone? What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, typical of its genre, you know, sort of early 70s wall-mounted dial with letters and numbers, ABC and then 1 to 0.
And what's the origin of the letters? The whole business. Why were they on there?
Because in those days, or just prior to this, the telephone exchanges were named rather than numbered. So Teddington, for instance, would have been TED 1234. Or Thames Television's telephone number, which really was Teddington 9798, I believe.
Jolly good firearm.
It's lovely, isn't it? I think we wanted... Oh, dear.
He's wearing his pyjamas all the time.
Look at that. The shape changer.
Oh, you see, they're wrong.
On the bed.
Because
But
you know
you
that was
see-
Timus.
But he's
there.
met him, hasn't he?
Well, Timus.
Professor Corson's met Timus. So he would say, oh no.
He's got a good,
He was nearly in shot then,
good
wasn't he?
deadpan face, hasn't he, that guy?
Yeah, he's a bit of a quality act now.
Yeah, we did have some very good actors. Some very well-known actors actually had their, I think I've said this before, professional debut in The Tomorrow People. Have I given you a list of names?
No, come on. Peter
Nicholas
Davison.
Lyndhurst,
Isn't really?
Pauline Quirk.
Peter Davison, Pauline Quirk, and that's about it, really.
So it's not that many, really, is it?
John Gielgud.
John Gill.
Ah, yes.
Laurence Olivier. All of these and
Anthony
many more
Hopkins.
didn't appear in The Tomorrow People. There we go. Look, now we know that.
He's going to give him a kiss.
You know what? He's got different lapel badges, hasn't he?
Go on about these
He's got his
badges.
voice there. He's got his voice.
But he had a sort of semi-parachute type badge on before we discussed it. Do you remember?
I was making notes.
So not only a shape changer, but a badge changer.
So that was Francis's voice then, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, look at
Oh,
those.
I
Do you
remember those. Yeah, they were fab.
He'll be here in just a minute, then
They're
you can
good.
go home and forget all about today.
Here's 3 to play with.
Here's an attractive guy.
Gone.
Along with.
Oh, don't worry, Evergreen. Sure, he'll be all right.
What a lovely name, Evergreen.
Evergreen, yes.
I think I shall name my first child Evergreen, in honour of The Tomorrow People.
Or where it was conceived.
Yeah.
Up a tree.
Up a tree on a green.
Oh
Call
dear.
your child Broom after the cupboard.
You'll know where they are. Get him to tell them that the shape changes.
That'd be
Oh,
interesting
she's
grounds for
bursting off
divorce.
again. Come on, Evergreen, stop
She's just
snivelling.
laughing, isn't
Yeah.
she? She's corpsing.
Professor Corston, we need help urgently.
No, he's gone. No, he's got no colour. Look.
Well, he's burning white with panic.
Is that what it is?
And off he gets switched. Oh, here we go. New silencer bands.
Yes, with blue on them. They were yellow before, weren't they? Different chroma key colour.
I warned you.
You've got one too.
Yes, something's going to happen in the middle, isn't it?
Yes, old
It
Francis.
just went white then.
Oh, is that what? Yeah, but I think something more spectacular than that. I can't think they'd.
I'm
bother
afraid
with that.
not.
No.
That's all.
Because you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Here he is.
Hey!
Ah, boy.
Jedikiah.
It's good to know you remember so much, Stephen.
Why are you doing it? This is our lab. Tim, what'd you let him in for?
What'd you let him in
It's
for?
no good, he switched Tim off. Tim didn't let him in.
Now you know what you've been let in for.
Then Jaundice is all here.
I'm
His
sorry.
last form was Sergeant Evans.
I said, now you know what you've been let in for. He said, what did you let him in for?
And since you remember so much, perhaps you
So what's
also
happened? He's now
know
got himself an
why
underground
I'm
map,
here.
so he knows where we are. What's happened?
He jaunted in with
You sent me
Peter.
to rot in a
Oh, so you let him in?
You
Yes.
marooned me there.
Yes, doesn't look very purple, but
Breathe that marooned you there, Jedikiah.
He's had his nasal hair sorted out
Yes.
since last time,
I think his pullover's been marooned.
You're standing up to him pretty well there,
I
Peter.
was, wasn't I? I was
Yeah.
giving him a, you know,
Giving as good as you got.
enough's enough, Jedi boy.
He's a Jedi boy, is he? That was the 1950s.
You destroyed Jedikiah. He's in there.
I was going to name it when I get a dog, Jedikiah.
Really? So you could kick it.
It's just a nice name for a dog, isn't it? Jedikiah.
Yeah, but it might shapeshift into a cat.
Or a bear. Then you could call it a Jedi bear.
I think I need more coffee.
Jedi beans. I mean, there's a whole marketing thing here, isn't there?
Tickno. Oh, look.
Do you tick no for an answer?
Jedi steady go.
I love that amulet round his that
still-
gun
yes,
thing.
that's
The dog turd, you mean?
I was
Yes.
just gonna say
The
it.
golden dog turd.
It's got the joke turd on it. The joke shop turd.
It's two dog turds stuck together, actually, to give it symmetry.
Oh. Where's he gone?
That's a good trick if you can do it, Nick.
It is,
isn't
it is.
Where are they all gone? Oh, they're still there.
There.
You see, you don't realise what they're paying for. I mean, the reason, that's really good acting. Look at it.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
yeah. Nowadays, they just make a mannequin of you. don't
Yes. They said they'd make a mannequin of me.
Call them. I shall know if there is no reply.
No.
And if there is not,
They're
it
dead.
means that they are dead. Call them. Go on. Call them.
Quite scary,
So
isn't he?
he wants you to call them, is this right?
Yeah, I think he wants me to call them, yeah.
This is quite...
John.
You're right, it is
He,
quite...
he can act. This boy could act. He could.
He could.
Now
Well,
and
look at
again.
the tears in
I
the
know.
ears there. Or was somebody Sticking
It's
a
quite
sharp-
disturbing, this.
Very.
Yes, I do. I'm upset.
The whole thing, actually, from this point onwards, just this last episode takes on a very serious sort of tone.
He was calling John.
Sinister.
And Elizabeth.
It's like Roger Price wrote this bit sort of late at night.
Oh, she's jaunted. Into hyperspace, probably.
I shall leave you alive, but without any power.
Oh, you.
From today, you will no longer be the tomorrow people.
But yesterday's man. Why did he do that? Why doesn't he just kill us?
Pillar. Switch it on.
Why is he so kind to us?
For the same reason that villains say, but before I kill you, I'm going to tell you my plan.
Excellency, we need help! Help!
Oh.
Yeah, well, got enough, though. Just got enough to get the other
Why
timers
do we
in
leave
to
the
knock stuff.
switch in such a vulnerable position?
I'm sure that control panel turned up in Doctor
What do you
Who.
do now, Jedikiah?
Do? I'm going to plunder this little
Just I'd mention that.
Oh,
Doubt that, pal.
bit of rape and pillage and plunder.
You, Stephen, will
Yes,
do.
in a former life I was a
We will
Viking.
bring back the most precious mineral that this measly little planet of yours has in store.
He wants another golden turd.
After that.
Oh, that's he gets reduced to
Yes.
rags.
Hey, look, you see,
That's his
That
real
is
hair.
his, yes. I do apologise, Philip.
there's a bit of a Bobby Charlton.
There was a Bobby.
I don't know why he told us said he was as bald as a coot earlier on, off mic. Was bald as a coot, wasn't it?
Which I can roam the universe at my own free will.
He plans to plunder the Earth.
He planned to plunder the
Plans
earth.
to planet the Earth. I think I'm dead, Tim.
You give me a compliment with one hand and you rip it out in the next, don't
That's the
you?
way. Give with one, take with the other.
To interfere with Earthlings.
This gets all very strange now.
But these are no longer Earthlings.
What do you mean?
They thought
We're
this was
part
going to
of
be
the-
the end of the series, didn't they? Forever and ever, did they?
Yes, they had decided this was going to be the lot, and the story was sewn up. Yes, you're absolutely right. Well spotted.
Not forever.
So, and you thought you were out
Not
for
for-
job then, did you?
Well, I think I realised that when they bunged me on a bed and didn't use me for a whole episode.
Oh, love.
I thought he's obviously run out of inspiration. He can't write the witty, clever lines that John usually has.
They're not there.
John? Elizabeth?
See, that's the visual equivalent of somebody being on the
Oh.
telephone,
Oh,
and they
listen to
hang up at
this.
the other end, and they go, hello, hello, hello. You know, you know they've got. It's manifestly obvious that I'm not there. Pillock.
If I say their name... Oh, here we are.
Listen to this. This is when we go away.
Right,
don't
let's
we?
hear it.
leave this planet. Forever?
No, of course not. There's still a lot to be done.
Will I see you again?
Yes.
When will I see you
It's all
again?
end of story acting.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Jedikiah, you
This is bizarre.
this planet.
He's in rags, isn't he?
You wanted to take away our special powers.
You were responsible for the near death of my clone brother Tikno.
Don't... Oh, you can break the setup now because they think they're never going to use it again.
That we release you.
Release me!
Yes,
Please release me, let me go. So many song titles in all this writing, aren't there?
as other men do. You will not be rich, Jedikiah.
You live on Earth as other men do. Ah, he's gonna be.
Ragged up.
He's gonna be.
This is quite sad, actually. It's quite weird.
But he's just a robot. I don't...
Well, you can
I
earn.
mean, he's going to walk up the King's Road dressed like that, is
you
he?
can earn £100 a day begging on the King's Road. No problem at all. If you get a dog, have a dog sitting by, you get even more, apparently.
He must have been traumatised by wearing.
He's going to... It's not fair, is it? They could have at least put him in a duffel coat and a pair of jeans or something.
Oh, look.
Look,
Biggie shoes.
he's just going to walk out of a tube station dressed like
Get
that.
onto it. You see
Nothing-
people. No, you see
no
people.
new-
No, be fair. You see people like that in White City Tube every day.
Oh, look at this. Is very final, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So why had they
And look at the slow
decided...
tracking shot. Look, very. Where are they doing that from? Because that's a very high shot. Camera must be
We
right
did
up.
we did have a crane. Remember, we had a huge crane. They used to do their long shots and
That-
top shots.
Now, quickly,
Almost
before
looks
it
like a
ends, now,
crane.
do you know why they decided to finish it here?
They couldn't afford my fees.
Then you realise no one else was going to employ you, and then you drop your fee, and
And
they
how-
said yes to not
That's
serious.
right. That's right. You got it.
And how long before they, why did they change their minds?
Hugely popular. They got after this episode. They got about 15,000 fan letters. I think you did half of them, didn't you?
I did
And
7.5,
the other.
yeah.
And
Marvellous. Well,
That's
I
the story.
thoroughly enjoyed that.